Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Larry's Americana. Um, Let me just show you today what we're going to be talking about. This is the issue that this video topic was taken from. Inside, yes, part-time jobs. So, as usual, thank you for joining me. And yeah, let's see what we have today. So, as I mentioned before, each time, these topics are taken from this book, Larry's Americana, and they were taken from the little magazine that I showed you just a second ago. And basically, I'm going to read to you from the article that I wrote a few years back and jump in every now and then to share different ideas, different thoughts with you as we go through it. So, here we go. Consider this situation. You are a young boy or girl, let's say 14 years old, and want to buy some clothes, a new CD, some makeup, and so on. But there's a problem. A big problem. You don't have any money. Zero. Your pockets are empty. What do you do? If you live in America, you have a plethora of options. Big word, plethora. From a very early age, American kids, even rich kids, work. We think it is an excellent way to learn responsibility and a way to gain valuable life experience. Although we do receive a small weekly allowance from our parents for doing chores around the house, I, like other American kids, did many outside the home part-time jobs when I was young. Here's a partial list of common jobs we do and that I did to earn some much desired pocket money. We can cut lawns, rake leaves, shovel snow, deliver newspapers, and babysit. Society accepts this and even encourages it. So, yeah, like I said in the introduction there, these are all jobs that many American kids have when they're young. And I myself did all of these. And it was a very good experience. And now I'm going to tell you a little bit more about each of these, okay? So, today I'd like to tell you in a little more detail how we go about getting these jobs, doing them, and what the jobs involve. So first, cutting lawns. Yeah, you can see a number of lawnmowers here. They're all spiffy and new, except for this one, which is very old. Actually, my grandpa had one like this. But I don't think the lawnmower I had was this nice. Mine was simpler and older, and it was, 50 years ago. So not quite 50, but almost. So, cutting lawns. This job, as well as the next two, is seasonal. As you might know, American houses often have huge green lawns. Some lawns are truly beautiful, while others are just big. And they all need to be mowed. As a kid, I mowed several lawns in my neighborhood on a weekly basis in the spring and summer. Most of these jobs came about as direct requests from neighbors who couldn't afford or didn't want to pay expensive professionals. A typical lawn job might take me an entire morning or afternoon to complete, and earn me $10 to $15. Pretty good pay in those days. I'd roll my family's lawnmower down the street, filled with gasoline, fire it up, and start. But boy, was it hot. Hard work. Luckily, a friendly homeowner would have plenty of ice-cold lemonade for you to drink to help you cool down. Yeah, hot, very, very hot, as I seem to remember. Yeah, okay. Next, raking leaves. Once autumn kicks in, the leaves begin to fall from the trees in the yard. Many American families will work together an entire weekend or two raking and bagging the leaves. Or in cases where they are too busy or too old, they might hire youngsters to do it for them instead. In many U.S. towns in the autumn, lots of eager kids can be seen walking down the street, rakes slung over their shoulders, going door to door, trying to drum up business. You go up the walk, up the steps, and then ring the bell. Ding dong! Yes, who is it? Good morning, Mrs. Davis. Mrs. Davis. I don't know if I had a neighbor named Mrs. Davis, but... Good morning, Mrs. Davis. Would you be interested in having your yard raked? How much, Larry? $20? Okay, when can you start? With those $20, I was able to buy a beautiful new baseball glove. Yeah, oh man, looking at these, this one reminds me of what I did when I was a kid. I might have done a big job with my brothers or some friends. That's a possibility. We didn't have plastic rakes in those days. And guess what? Look up here. This is a bamboo rake here and a Japanese style broom type rake that they use to, yes, rake up leaves, believe it or not. I was really surprised when I came to Japan and saw these being used. They're very beautiful, I think. I took pictures of them and Japanese thought I was crazy. Why are you taking pictures of a stupid rake? Yeah, because it's interesting and different. Okay, so let's continue. Next, shoveling snow. Well, as you can see from this picture here, where I'm from, New York, we had big snowstorms and people needed help. So it snows a lot in New York during the winter. This is a horrible inconvenience for people whose doors and cars are snowed in, but a great chance for kids who want to earn a few extra bucks. Just like with the mowing and raking, going door to door is the best way to find customers. And here's a bonus. Once you start working, you don't feel the cold at all. In fact, you sweat. If we were lucky enough to have a snowstorm and school was called off, well, man, that was the day where you'd run out and try to earn some extra money, or of course on the weekends too. Either way is basically when I shoveled snow, for sure, yeah. Okay, next. Delivering newspapers. I've mentioned in a previous article that I was a paperboy. This involved getting up very early in the morning, around 5 a.m., loading up my bike with papers that had been delivered to my home, and then doing my daily paper route. In winter, I would do it in pitch blackness. It was dark, black, and cold and miserable. It usually took me an hour and a half. So this is before school, right? Weekend afternoons, I would visit each home to collect money for the papers for the week. This was a very good job and provided a steady stream of income. Yeah, that was the key point, a steady stream of income. The only downside was, do you remember? I told this story before. There was a downside besides the cold. Dogs. Dogs were chasing me, and there was that one Doberman where I was forced to carry a baseball bat with me. He didn't give me any trouble. He came close a few times, but yeah, I had that bat with me, so I was okay. This is a little different than how I did it, because what I used to do is I had a big basket on the front of my bike right here, and all the newspapers were in the basket. Same here. These guys are carrying the newspapers over their shoulder, but I had too many to be able to do that, and it's not a good balance, so I had them on the front, and that worked really, really well. Okay, and one more. Finally, babysitting. Look at this up here on the left. This is kind of a book. I think it's a book. How your students can maximize their earnings as a babysitter. Yeah, advice. So, babysitting is simply this. When a neighbor couple with young kids wants to go out for dinner and a movie, they call a responsible neighborhood teenager on the phone and ask him or her to come over and babysit. Is it a hard job? Only if you think sitting in front of the TV all night is hard work. The kids are already in bed sleeping, so there's not much to do. It's also a good chance to do your school homework. Great for you and great for the parents who need some time to themselves. If nothing goes wrong, like the kids getting sick or a fire starting, it's a great way to earn some extra pocket money. As a young boy and teenager growing up in New York, Long Island, New York, I enjoyed doing all of these jobs. I think it was a great experience. A great experience. Learned responsibility, earned extra money, and kept me active. Kept me very active. How about you guys? What kind of part-time jobs did you have when you were young? Please let me know. Share some comments. And I look forward to talking to you next time on Larry's Americana. Thanks a lot.